Hello, everybody, to the second episode of the TVRealm podcast. Alongside me is Sarah Stockdale.
Hey.
So now we are here bringing you the second episode, and we have some news. Steve Jobs just resigned as the CEO of Apple. Sarah, any comments on that?
I think that's just personally unbelievable. I mean, Steve Jobs has done so much for the company. He's really shown at the beginning. So for him to resign, it's just a big deal.
We're definitely gonna have to talk about that in maybe a future episode, or we can put that in the news section of our website.
Yep.
So, on this episode, we're going to start talking about the cast for Survivor South Pacific. Sarah, are you excited?
Yeah. Man, I can't wait for this season. I mean, I actually already know the cast. Only the listeners don't, but it's going to be epic.
Okay, and I will be giving you the basics for their names, the ages, where they live, and their jobs. And Sarah will be telling you what other people say about that person. So, go ahead and jump right into this. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start with the Blue Tribe, Upolu. The first person is Albert Destrade, or Destrade. I'm not really sure about some of these, so I apologize for my pronunciation. He is 25, Tampa, Florida, and a high school baseball coach. Sarah, what are people saying about Albert?
Well, the review from community.realitytvworld.com says he could go far because he is more manipulative than Keith and understands the dynamics of men and women. They might get rid of him sooner rather than later. But Jeff Probst says that he's a possible pursuer.
Okay, so it sounds like he could make it far, but I'm thinking they might get rid of him early. I think he could be a Matt
Yeah.
from those reviews. So
Yeah.
that's what we have to say about him. There is the next person on that I wrote down on the list. I'm going to skip him, and we're going to come back to him at the end of this tribe because I think that he deserves to wait. So we're going to move on to Christine Shields Margoshi. She is 39 from Merrick, New York, and she is a teacher. Sarah, what are people saying about Christine?
They say she really misses her kids and family, so she'll eventually give up and want to go home. She could use one of the nice ones votes off early. But Jeff Probst said she makes me want to have a beer with her.
Okay, so it sounds like I'm not going to like Christine very much.
Yeah, I saw the interview from CBS.com. You can check it out there, where they meet up with the cast. And she seems kind of like, I guess, the person who gets temperamental. She has a thing against divas and lazy people, which, will always come up.
Her whole tribe.
Yeah.
So moving on now, Edna Ma, 35, Los Angeles, and a physician and anesthesiologist. What are people saying about Edna?
They are saying that she has focus and determination and could go far if she was more personable, but she is a bit of an elitist, but she knows how to approach things. She'll be okay for a bit. And Jeff says she's a dominatrix. Dominatrix? How do you pronounce that? I'll just skip
I don't
that.
know what that would mean anyway.
We'll just cut that out.
Okay. So moving on now, I think Edna could go far based on what you would say though. So I think that she can make it past the merge from what you've told me.
Yeah.
Now moving on, Michaela Wingle, but she likes to go as Mickey. She is 21 from Tampa, Florida, bartender and a model, and she also appeared as a Playboy cover model in February this year.
Okay, so the people are saying about her is that she's manipulative and will flirt with all the boys to get what she wants. Not really a surprise there. She's very personable and thinks about her best interest. She's amazing with the challenges. She's one of our top 3 picks to go into the finals. And then Jeff says she's a lot like Boston Rob. And saying that he just won Survivor, that's saying something right there.
And considering how he won it, it's also saying something. But I don't think that she's going to win based on just looking at it. I don't think she could win. You know?
Yeah, they might see her as a threat early on and decide to get her off then or further along.
So I'm going to predict her either just before the merge or sometime middle of the jury. So moving on, Rick Nelson. He's 51 years old from Aurora, Utah, and he is a cattle rancher. What are people saying about Rick, Sarah?
Okay, so they say he seems like a decent human being, depending on the alliance. He'll work hard to make it to the end. He might be too much of a good guy and too trusting, which could hurt him in the game. In an ideal world, we'd love to see Rick win the million. And Jeff says he's the real deal.
Okay, so another nice guy. I think you can expect that from... He lives in Utah, he's a cattle rancher, and he's 51.
Yeah. He's been trying to get on the show for a while, according to his CBS interview. So I think that he'll probably do really well.
It also seems like people who try to get on the show for a while, though, seem like they're early out. But I've seen the cast pictures, and he just looks like a jury member from my eyes. I don't know why.
Probably the cowboy hat.
Probably. Moving on to Sophie Clark. She's 22 from Willsboro, New York, and a med school student.
Okay, so the people are saying that she is one of the younger girls who might last for a while because she has enough personality to charm some of the other people. Her biggest challenge is her cockiness. And Jeff says that she's the observer.
She's early out. She's early out. I'm sorry. She might be the first one.
Because of her attitude?
There's just something about her. Her original profile pic on SurvivorFever.net, which is where I originally found this cast before it was officially announced, it looked like she was wasted. So, I don't think that's a good sign. She kind of looked wasted in her picture.
Oh, wow.
So, don't be a Sophie fan this season because she's probably not going to go too far. The next contestant is Stacy Powell. She's 44 from Grand Prairie, Texas, and she is a funeral director. That's sad. So, Sarah, what are people saying about Stacy?
They're saying she has a strong personality, so if she remains quiet, which seems hard to do for her, and manages to manipulate people, she might have a chance. She deals with dead people and doesn't get scared, so we can definitely see her killing fish and animals and helping the squeamish people out. And Jeff says, overlooked.
Okay, again, I don't think she's gonna go too far, based on the knowledge I have. I think she could be 3rd, 4th, or 5th out. Voted out. I don't know how she would do on Redemption Island. I think she would get out early, because she doesn't look like too much of a physical threat. Does it say anywhere that she is a physical threat, though?
I don't see it anywhere. She doesn't look as muscular as some, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, and we're now going to go back to the person who I said deserved to be suspenseful, but he's also on the Upolu tribe, so that's why we can't move on to the next tribe. Brandon Hance. That is Russell Hance's nephew. He is 19 from Katy, Texas, and he works for Hance Tankering. So, Russell's nephew on the show, what are the reviews?
Russell's nephew. He is rough around the edges, but he could build a strong alliance. He has said he has a bad temper, so he might blow up. He'll be a character. But Jeff says he's the underdog.
Now, I was thinking, if you go on Survivor, do you have to say your last name? Because he could say, my name's Brandon, but he doesn't have to say his last name is Hans.
Yeah, I don't think you do. I mean, I know a couple seasons back they gave them the choice that to work to your advantage, you could say your full name, just your first name, or whatever. And so I think that that would benefit him to not.
Okay, so